Hey, welcome back to New World Nerds. I'm Superman Nico. This is the first video I'm ever doing solo, so this should be a lot of fun. Just kidding, it's terrifying. Being in a room alone with just a camera. Very exciting stuff I got for you today. We got the Spider-Man Homecoming trailer. I've been waiting for this for a long time. It was rumored to come out around Rogue One time, and it turns out it did. Christmas came early this year. About a week before Rogue One came out. It sure was something. The movie doesn't come out until July, so this was really cool that we got it super early. Alright, let's start it off. Okay, so we start off the trailer with obligatory New York exterior shots. Of course, you need to. This is Spider-Man. It looks like there's a robbery in progress. What they used to open the safe, possibly Chitauri tech? Who knows? It seemed like the outside of it looked kind of Chitauri. By who is that? The Avengers? No, it's definitely not them. It's just some crooks in some very terrible cosplay masks. But that's not what we're worried about, right? They're robbers. And then Spider-Man comes in frame. He's just chilling out, just as Spider-Man should. And he's like, wait a minute, you guys aren't the real Avengers. It was so perfect. Feels like he's right out of the comics, just tuck and smack the whole time. Them being dressed up as Avengers reminds us how awesome it is to have Spider-Man back in the MCU, because they can do that. They can say Iron Man now. They can say Hulk. They can say Thor. They can say Avengers. It is so great that these two companies have made a deal like this, and will pay dividends later on in the film. We'll get to see Peter interacting with our very first Avenger we ever saw. Spidey seems to take down these crooks pretty easily, which I love to see, because that means that Spider-Man's power levels are pretty accurate to the comics. I know a lot of people probably don't know this, but he takes it easy on a lot of crooks, in which obviously he does again, because he's just ducking and dodging their punches. He really is a very strong character. I'm glad to see they powered him up correctly. It also lets us know that he's been Spider-Man for a little bit, because he's honed in on his powers. Spider-Man just nonchalantly waiting around for them to notice that he's there. I think the song they pick is perfect. It instantly validates all the John Hughes comparisons they've been giving this film since Comic-Con, which is really great. I feel like this is an actual high schooler. Like, that's really what Spider-Man is. He's the first high school superhero. It seems in tone that we're getting a high school story with a superhero cover over it. Obligatory high school guys drooling over the prettiest girl to show you that these are real kids drooling over the hottest girl in school. That he has a good relationship with a friend. He has a confidant, which it's usually Harry Osborn, which I'm totally glad that it's not anymore. It's good to see that he has a friend. It would suck to be all alone after Uncle Ben died. Zendaya, who's playing Michelle Gonzalez, just comes in and says that they're creeps and that they're losers. Which is really mean. Stop, Michelle. Why are you bullying? Don't do that. Zendaya seems to have a different look than we all thought she was going to have, which I really like, because she's been on the Disney Channel, and I've never watched anything she's been in. We all know she's gorgeous. What most people don't know is if she can act, and that's what they're going to find out right here. We get our first Tony Stark appearance in this trailer. We figured that he'd show up in it. We figured that he's going to be an important role in the movie. They've been advertising him also, telling us that he's going to be in it. Even his driver, Happy Hogan's going to be in it, so that's going to be cool. I love the way they interact with each other. Peter still doesn't know exactly what to do. He really wants to be an Avenger, but he still has to deal with all the high school stuff, which is important. You don't want to get too big for your britches, and it's also like a good way to tell the audience, like, no, he has to do this because he's not ready yet. Tony Stark just confusing Peter Parker. Don't do anything I wouldn't do, but don't do anything I would do. Basically because he never makes the right decisions. He made Ultron. He fought Captain America. He makes so many wrong decisions. So don't do what he does. Just be yourself, Peter. You be yourself. Oh my gosh, I love the awkward hug / door open part. I'm pretty sure it's happened to most of us, like family members that we don't see for a long time. They just happen to, like, are they going in for the hug? Are we gonna handshake? And it's just so awkward. And it's worse because they're not even related. Tony Stark, of all people, is gonna come in and hug him. Perfect. I love how awkward he is. Awkwardly charming. That's the best I know how to explain it. We get more shots of him in the hallways, because we all know how crowded high school hallways are. I love how Peter's watching the footage of him fighting Giant Man from Civil War, because that's what you would do. Right now, I watch my own videos all the time, and I know it's really weird, and I know I probably shouldn't, but I love to hear the sound of my voice. I would watch it over and over again if I had Spidey powers and I took on Giant Man. Why wouldn't you watch it? You'd be crazy not to watch that video 100 times. What, you think I want to learn about chemistry? No, I don't want to do that. I don't want to watch myself. Boy. Yeah, Tony Stark's voiceover isn't just for Peter, I think. It's also for the audience to let let you know that there's a reason why he's not just an Avenger all the time, which he really isn't in the comics. Yeah, he has an Avengers card and everything. Yes, he's a member. Spider-Man still has his own adventures that he has to deal with, his own rogues gallery that he needs to take care of. He has responsibilities that he needs to take care of. I like that they're explaining why he's not just Spider-Man all the time. You need to have an alter ego. You need to have a real life. You need to have a sense of normalcy. Star Wars Lego set cameo, because synergy. Marvel owned by Disney, Star Wars owned by Disney. Boom, synergy. Definitely not a hint to Rogue One. Rogue One in theaters December 16th. We get it, Disney. You own everything. Ned, who is pretty much Peter's gonk, best friend and confidant of Miles Morales. Ned finds out that he's Spider-Man, so we already know that they're gonna like team up. He's gonna be this little tech guy. I like that he has a friend. He should have a friend, but he does remind me a lot of Gonk, and hopefully they're able to do a version for Miles Morales. He deserves his own character. I really like the dynamic between Gonk and Miles in the comics currently, so I hope that they're able to do that, because obviously we want a Miles Morales movie also after this, you know, decades after this, because Tom Holland's gonna be my Spider-Man for a long time. I like that he has a confidant, so he's not all inward all the time, because that would just tear somebody apart who has to deal with all of this stuff. Criminals, homework, Aunt May getting hurt, his loved one. I love the DC field trip footage. I think that's going to be cool. Him climbing the Washington Monument, something we haven't seen in live action before. They're trying to differentiate themselves from the other two Spider-Men, which is good. And I think they're doing it in a way that's tasteful. They're just trying different things. Boom! And there he is. We get to see the Vulture. I honestly was not expecting this in the very first trailer. Maybe a glimpse of Vulture, but this is full-on Vulture, and we get a close-up on him too. And it doesn't look silly like how I think the Vulture looks silly in the comic. It would be cool to see if maybe it was from Stark Industries, because we know that Sam Wilson's, aka the Falcon's wings, are Stark Tech. Maybe he was an ex-Stark employee. Maybe that's why Tony Stark is in the mix. We get a close-up on him, and yeah, he kind of does look scary. I mean, if you saw that thing flying at you in the middle of the night, like, that would freak me out. Look at the glowing green lifeless eyes. Tony Stark trying to put out the fire that is Spider-Man's urge to do good, to stop bad guys. He's saying there's people that do this. No, there's not. You made them all fugitives, Tony. Don't you understand? Watch the last movie. Anyway, so that's probably why they team up, because he's like, all right, he's probably like, all right, I can't stop you, so let's go take him down. Because for some reason, Tony loves to enlist children. Peter thinks he's getting disrespected by Tony Stark because he thinks he's just a kid. And then we have Ned being the voice of reason, which I think is very good. That's what he needs to be. That's what he should be. Webbed wings. I didn't even know I wanted him to have web wings until I saw him have web wings. They look so cool. I hope there's a rational explanation for him having web wings, which it looks like in the trailer. There's a reason he has them, and it's because he can use them to glide, perhaps when he runs out of webbing. That might be one of my favorite Spider-Man tropes, especially from the animated series, is him running out of webbings, and I feel like it's never used. I think it was probably used once at least in the Amazing Spider-Man. It couldn't be done in the original Spider-Man trilogy because he had organic webbing. Maybe that's why there's the idea for the web wing, so he can glide when he runs out of webbing. So I hope these web wings are practical, which I think they're going to be, because not every city has big skyscrapers to swing from, like Washington, D.C. They have the monument, so maybe he's trying to get to the highest point and then trying to glide off so he can get to wherever he needs to go. He's talking to Liz, starts talking to the pretty girl from school. Good job, Peter. To all the other nerds out there, we all wish we had your game. Possibly the robbers from the beginning are setting a weapon off. Maybe that they have new toys from the Vulture. Distract Spider-Man, maybe. Peter tells Liz, sorry, I was slammed. Oh, you bad man. You get it, cause bus? Alright. Peter and Liz talking, even though we still need to get Gwen Stacy and Mary Jane, so don't invest too much in that, people. Then we get our first shot of Michael Keaton, so it doesn't seem like this person's gonna be a mentor to him, because he sounds pretty menacing, and I love that. I think he sounds really good. That to me is one of the biggest things. If you can sound menacing, you can be a good villain. I know there's lots of other things that you need to cover, but the voice I think is a very integral part to being a villain, because you got to think of him, you're in a room, you're trying to stop whatever he's trying to do, and then you just hear it, and then you're like, oh damn. Now we got the vulture turning around and you kind of hear like a scream, kind of like a vulture call, which is really cool. That's gonna be scary. That would be scary to me. And then Vulture tells Peter, like, I will kill you. I will straight up kill you and everyone you love. That's some cold-hearted stuff right there. You got yourself a villain. I really hope that he doesn't fall victim to the Marvel villain stereotype where he just dies by the end of the film. I would hate that. But it makes sense that he would die at the end of the film because Michael Keaton's such a great actor that he wouldn't sign on for multiple films. But hopefully they just throw him in that underwater prison they have in Civil War. And then we get our first Aunt May shot. One Aunt May shot. I wonder if him interacting with Ned will take away from him interacting with Aunt May. I hope not. I hope that he still has a good relationship with Aunt May and we get to see that in the movie. Here we are, folks. We got it. I'm calling it right now. We have our next train scene. Peter trying to web up and hold the ship together. That is so Spider-Man right there, to know that this is an impossible task but to do it anyway because it is his responsibility to save all these people. That's your hero shot. Of course, you got to end reassuring everybody that you're gonna get the Iron Man Spidey team up that's gonna put the butts in seats. I really like that Robert Downey Jr. is still in these movies even though he doesn't have any more solo movies. It really builds the universe more, seeing him interact with other characters. Their chemistry on screen and Civil War was so good. I'm glad they're going to be able to develop that more. I hope he doesn't overshadow the main Spider-Man story of it all. I hope they're able to weave him in, which Marvel has been good at. We saw in Civil War. Still have faith in Kevin Feige and all the other people working on this film that they'll still stress the Spider-Man characters and not to take away from any of the other characters that we need to learn about. That was it. That was a trailer. I'm really excited for this movie. I didn't think I could be more hyped for it than I already was, because Spider-Man is my favorite character. I know, I'm Superman Nico, but Spider-Man is my favorite. Superman second, I'm sorry. Tom Holland just makes Peter Parker feel like a human. Not to take anything away from the other two Spider-Men. I thought Tobey Maguire was great. I thought Andrew Garfield was good. I definitely don't think those two people are to blame for any of the faults that their movies might have. Spider-Man 2 is one of my favorite movies of all time. The premise of Spider-Man to me is that this nerdy guy, Peter Parker, this geek, this outcast, gets these amazing powers and his life is supposed to get better, right? Like he can do these crazy, amazing things and it's supposed to fix everything in his life, but it doesn't. His Uncle Ben dies. His Aunt May is always in danger. His friends are always in danger. Like this just gives him so much more problems on top of the problems he already had of not having parents, and now he lost another one in Uncle Ben. He's the first teenage superhero and he has so much pain. He is a good guy. I'm not going to take that away from him. But the reason he goes out every night and fights crime instead of doing what he wants to do, taking Mary Jane out or just spending more time with Aunt May, is because it's his responsibility. And I feel it from Tom Holland. I know we only seen him a few minutes in Civil War. I know this trailer is only 2 minutes, but I feel it and I'm very excited for this movie. I think their comparisons to John Hughes that they've been saying are validated now. I felt like this was a high school movie, but we still got our action parts that we all want from a Spider-Man movie. I'm so hyped. I'm so ready for this movie to come out. I hope you guys are too. Let me know what you guys thought of the trailer. Let me know what you guys want to see in the movie. I'm going to go ahead and say that I want to see him run out of webbing and him wipe out completely. Much like Spider-Man, this was my first solo outing, and thank you very much for watching. I appreciate it so much. Let me know if you want me to do more of these. If you don't like it, let me know so I will never put myself in front of the camera ever again by myself. Either way, let me know. I really enjoyed doing this. Spider-Man's my favorite character. I talk about this stuff anyways. I talk about this stuff in my sleep. There's other trailers you want me to break down. Of course, we're going to have the Guardians of the Galaxy 2 trailer breakdown, probably with me and Brandon. Oh, but before I go, breaking news. There is a sequel to Spider-Man Homecoming already announced July 2019. Of course, we're going to get more. We're probably going to get a trilogy. This trailer tracked so well that they already greenlit a sequel. That's it for me. Thank you for showing up. If you like this at all, please click the like button for me. Comment on what you guys thought of the trailer. Comment on what trailers you want us to break down next. We'd love to do it for you. Most importantly, click that subscribe button for us. All I want for my birthday and Christmas is for you to click that subscribe button. It's free. It's the cheapest gift you can ever give me. That would put a smile on my face. You simply can't get enough of us. Follow the channel on Twitter at New World Nerds, or follow me at Superman Nico. Thanks for hanging out with this webhead. Keep nerding out there, true believers.